Alright, making a video. There's this retard, but yeah, forget that. Responds to Inmendham inheritance. Why I disagree. Okay, so apparently he's going to try to make some sort of argument. This, a guy I like, but, there's no point in liking people because they are always disappointing. Maximilian Robespierre. So, seems a perfectly good effortless type. But, you can't get these simple ones right. I just gotta, it's like the morbid atheist posted on my video some little proud statement about voting for Jill Stein. And didn't put in there any context. He's a lawyer. And he didn't even, oh yeah, well maybe I should put the context in that, New York is not in jeopardy. But even the whole idea that you take a risk with doing the Ralph Nader thing all over again. I mean, making the same stupid fucking cunt mistake all over again. It's just so stupid. Just for some stupid. I mean, it's just so petty-ish. Like, I have to prove some point that Jill Stein is, and she's an idiot too. She's not even worth the trouble. I mean, certainly not. I mean, she's obviously a more polite idiot than Donald Trump, but she's not much better. Well, we should publicly finance campaigns and collect a whole bunch of public money and give it to the networks to waste on 30-second commercials, because we all know 30-second commercials are what inform people politically. That's so much better than corporations controlling things, is having 30-second commercials about some sort of, personal vice. Yeah, that's what we need. We need more of that. Oh, fuck. Just waste money. Now, what we need is people to have the expectation that they probably should do a little more research. That instead of making speeches, politicians should be making videos explaining their position, explaining why you're a dumb motherfucking cunt if you can't figure out that inheritance is fundamentally cheating. It's just breaking any notion of fairness or earning or any of that. It's just basically saying, give all the privilege, all the rewards to completely irrelevant assholes. It's like somebody wins the gold medal and, we could have prizes, money prizes or something. And you just say, no, we don't have any money because we had to give it all to the people who had absolutely nothing to do with anything. Completely undeserving of any reward. And we're going to give them the gold. We're going to give you a medal made out of plated frog shit. Okay? And we're going to give the real gold to somebody who didn't do a damn fucking thing. Except fall out of a vagina. I mean, nowhere in nature does this work, right? I mean, even dumbass, fucking stupid as fuck nature knows. Oh yeah, you just don't have this legacy thing. Like I say, a lion pride, and so one lion was king, and then his cubs are mediocre. But forever now, till the end of time, as long as the pride is a pride, as long as they hang under their pride rock, the same prodigy always inherit the privilege, and they get all the milk, and they get all the wildebeest, and they don't do any work, and they don't do a motherfucking thing. So 80%, 85% of the production of the pride goes to these privileged little dorks, while the perfectly strong lions starve to death. You get nothing. Fuck you, stupid fuck. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this at all. I mean, this is just, like I said, it's not even complicated. There's absolutely no thing in our society where we think inheritance is a good idea. People talk about earning it, earn pay, all this other stuff. People earning it at their jobs, earning it here, the teachers union, because they get this automatic pay raise, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a shitty teacher. You spend 30 years teaching, you end up with a salary of $150,000 because you get an automatic pay raise just for showing up to work. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. And that's a tiny fucking offense. That's a tiny obscenity compared to, we're going to let you have ownership of the economy. The 1%. You get to own the fucking economy. Everything that happens, all the debt, everything is yours. You own it all. Based on the fact of your birthright. Fuck. Oh, 2 minutes. So he's going to do a video on inheritance in 2 fucking minutes. Well, that's just 2.5 minutes. I don't think he's going to have any counter arguments to my arguments. Start off kind of slow.
This is a response video I wanted to do for Inmendham. Recently he has talked about inheritance.
Just slowing things down a little bit. I don't care for ads.
And the problem of how inheritance is unfair.
Well, I'll just point out too, this guy suggested I go make a Facebook page, so he's not exactly the sharpest knife in the, whatever, the knife holder. He's probably got a knife holder somewhere.
So he said that, for example, Donald Trump receiving $1 million.
He didn't receive $1 million. His father had $200 million at one time, but you know, Donald's share of it was a huge amount of New York real estate. I mean, in 19 whatever it was, 70, probably, yeah, probably even or 65. So you go back and do the math. Go look up what the fucking Plaza Hotel was worth back in 1965, and then go figure out what he fucking inherited, shithead.
Being unfair because it gives him an unfair advantage over, for example, poor people.
It's not that it just gives him an unfair advantage. It means it locks the resources away. We all have to spend a lot more for everything because the rich own so much. They have all the fucking deeds to everything, you stupid fuck. And they didn't earn the deeds. They didn't sit there and do something of merit. It's this whole idea of giving it to somebody for not doing anything, for fuck's sake. Regardless of how that it has a, whatever the consequence, even if it was not consequential, even if it didn't actually factually kill people, and it didn't actually ruin the capacity of millions of people to reach their real potential, even if it didn't do all of that, it's still a fucking cheat!
I disagree with this point of view because I think everything we receive from our parents can be an unfair advantage.
Yeah, Nick, that's exactly the fucking point. That's right. And it shouldn't be. That anybody rational should say, shit, a kid shouldn't be raised by a crack whore. A kid shouldn't be raised by somebody distracted by NASCAR. A kid shouldn't be raised by a religious motherfucking kook who isolates them from any kind of knowledge of the real world. That's right, they shouldn't be. I think that's fucking child abuse. That's right, we should strive to say there is a certain kind of amount of experience and opportunity that all kids should have an opportunity to fuck up, you know, to piss it away. All right, that should be ideally what we want. We want them to have the chance to piss it away, not to be pissed on before they even have a chance to open their fucking eyes.
So, for example, if in respect to the example he gave, where a plumber can, in a sense, a plumber can't give a plumbing license to his son to become a plumber. The plumber's father can donate or give to his son, for example, a truck, or can give him tools.
Oh yeah, whatever you want. So what? I can give myself. I have if I'm Donald Trump and I have $9 billion. Let's say you know, preposterous. But anyway. So it's okay, I can give my son mansions and yachts and all kinds of toys to play with, and therefore I've just done the proper fatherly thing, and it has no consequences in the real world. That ownership doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it does.
The trade can give him customers, for example, a customer base. So his son...
Yeah, and again, and why would I say that's fair? I'm saying some unfairness you can't do anything about. So the fact that the privileged will be able to give their children every advantage in terms of education and tutors and mentors, they'll be... I mean, Jesse Jackson's son had every opportunity in a sense, right? He'd get to meet all kinds of influential people, powerful people, people who had a passion for their stuff and all the rest of it. And what he turned out to be? A fucking con artist, okay? Buying Rolex watches. So yeah, that doesn't even work. You know, the stupid George Bush thing, you know, they squeezed him into Harvard. You know, Obama's family squeezed him into fucking Yale or whatever. I reversed the two. Yeah, so there's all kinds of advantages the rich can provide for their kids, but they shouldn't be providing them also ownership. It's already a cheat system. That doesn't mean you say, let's cheat some more. Okay, yeah, there's already going to be a huge number of cheats based on, how conscientious your parents are and how much passion they put into raising you. And, whether you are raised in a family of, 15 or you're raised in a family of 2 or 3 kids. And there's going to be huge advantages, whether you're white or you're black or you're rich or you're poor. But yeah, those advantages should end. That should be the end of the advantage. When you're 18 years old, you should face the world. We all should be facing the world in some sort of equal standing where we have to fucking earn it. I mean, it's only a rational, fair fight. You can't call there's no fucking point in having your pretense of your sports athletes or any other competition or to ever talk about somebody ever earning anything. No point in even talking about welfare whores and all of this shit because obviously it's a system that's rigged. So yeah, why should anybody play? Why should anybody play any goddamn game if the biggest game in the world is going to be rigged?
And inherit a customer base, a name.
Again, that wasn't any of my subjects ever. Okay, I already conceded there's a huge number of cheats in the world. The point is whether we should let the economy be owned based on inheritance. Whether 88% of the stock market should be owned by people who never did a day's work in their life. They've never even seen their stock certificate. They don't even know what a stock is. They don't even know how it functions. They just know they fucking own one.
Reputation. So this is an unfair advantage over someone who perhaps wanted to start a business from scratch. If we change the example to a restaurant, for example,
this is just so fucking inane. Why don't you change it to something real instead of this bullshit? Something on the fucking subject, not off the fucking subject. Again, if I had some animal experiment or some other thing, you're saying that I would have some rational reason to create this inequity. Little Joey Rat over here. Well, I'm going to cut one of his legs off, and I'm going to sew it on Jimmy Rat, so he has an artificial advantage. Why? Because I want to. Because it's fun. There's absolutely no reason to allow the cheat. It's an unnecessary cheat, for fuck's sake. This isn't some problem that can't be overcome. This isn't some problem. Oh my God, we can't possibly do anything about this. Yes, we can. We did. That's why the 1950s existed as the most productive period. The 1950s, 60s, and 70s, the most productive period in human history for the middle class, for fuck's sake. And that's why it was so productive for them, is because we did have a fucking 90% tax bracket, and because we didn't have some fucking goddamn idea that people should inherit it. We had the idea that they should fucking earn it.
My father owned a restaurant, and he gave me the restaurant. I would start off with staff. I would start off with the building. I'd start off.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's right. The guy who I used to work for in the restaurant here, his father bought it for him for his 18th birthday. Okay, bought him which is a $7 million restaurant for his birthday. And then he, who didn't know shit about anything, okay, basically, of course he hired people as cheap as possible. And he ended up with a couple of really good ones, women especially. And they made millions of dollars for him. Because they were conscientious, they had self-respect, they did the best they could do, okay? They're the ones that made his goddamn fortune, and he paid them, what in today's wages would be $10 an hour. And they made his goddamn business. It wouldn't exist. It wouldn't have survived. He would have been bankrupt if it wasn't for goddamn them. Okay? They earned it. He didn't earn shit.
With a customer base, for example. So these would be unfair advantages that someone else starting from scratch wouldn't be able to have. So I think the
again, you ignore all the real world aspects to this, right? So again, like the stupid little cunts that own Google, right? One of them decides to open a genetics business, right, for his wife, and basically he's doing the Hearst thing, right? I mean, it doesn't matter how much money she loses. He can just keep funneling more money into it. So whatever the competition is, they're doomed to failure because they can't compete with a business that doesn't have to make money. That's how you get monopolies, asshole. Fucking dumb cunt.
The idea of saying that someone who receives $1 million from their parents
Again, that wasn't the subject. I have already said in numerous videos, let's just make it $1 million maximum. If you can't get by on $1 million cheat, then that kid is obviously retarded and stupid and should be Darwiningly failing. He should die. Okay, if you can't get by on $1 million head start, then you're probably genetic garbage.
Is an unfair advantage doesn't make sense, because everything is an unfair advantage.
Bullshit! Okay, just show me where the unfair advantage in the Olympics is. Show me where the unfair advantage is in baseball. Show me one fucking contest or competition between human beings. Show me where there's an unfair advantage in the workplace. Show me where Piro has an unfair advantage of getting a job as a programmer. Show me these unfair advantages in the real fucking world, you fucking cunt. Except in like the teachers union or government employees or some other shyster bullshit like that. But most people have to goddamn earn it, fuckhead.
If I'm born and I grow to be 6 feet tall, then I have an unfair advantage.
Yeah, and you don't realize that? If you're attractive, you have an unfair advantage? You don't realize that? If you happen to, have a 10-inch dick, you have an unfair advantage? Yeah, it's the facts, but that's a fact we can't do anything about, or we no desperate need to do anything about it. In our current circumstance, a tiny percentage of the human race owns the fucking human race, you dumb shit! It's the most important fucking disgusting thing existing is the inequity of ownership of our goddamn economy, you motherfucking cunt. Where do you think these corporations come from? Where do you think their power comes from? Where do you think the power of the bankers comes from? It's from the fucking rich, you stupid fuck. The inheritance fucking rich, you stupid fuck.
Advantage over people who are 4 feet tall. So, I think this argument doesn't make sense to say that...
Yeah, no, comparing inheritance of the fucking economy to being born a midget is not the same fucking subject, retard. One of them's infinitely fixable, one of them is a natural disaster. Okay, two fucking different things, shithead. And I'm saying a disaster just because most of the time midgets have to go through pretty substantial, unpleasant surgeries and whatnot just to get through their life, and it's really not good, and it would be better if they didn't have... I'm not against being short. I just mean I don't want them to have hip dysplasias and heart defects and all the other shit that goes with it.
Receiving $1 million is unfair. Yes, it's unfair, but everything is unfair.
Now, again, the stupidest statement ever stated in the history of mankind just about. What do you mean everything is unfair? I really don't see where there's unfairness anywhere here. If I drop this and I drop this, there's no unfairness there. I don't see how what the fuck was that unfair? There was nothing unfair. They had a fair fight. If I had a race with my fucking neighbor, we could have a fair race. There's lots of fair contests. There's lots of deserve has something to do with it. There's lots of places where you can say, yes, deserve had something to do with the outcome. Lots of places. And yes, there are unfairnesses in the world where, the guy who is going to win the gold medal stubs his toe the day before the event and is out of luck. Yeah, there's a lot of shitty things that happen. But we're not talking about shitty things that we can't do anything about. We're talking about shitty things we can do something about.
So I'd like to hear a response from Inmendham regarding this.
Fuck you is my fucking response. My response is, how can you be this fucking goddamn fucking stupid? That's my fucking response. How the fuck can you look at the real world and say, yes, it makes sense to create desperate poverty, have people stuck in it, have a 3% migration rate between the classes. Yeah, that's a great game. 3% chance that you'll escape living on the garbage dump. Fuck you.
Issue, I disagree.
I mean, if it wasn't just, like I said, this doesn't take any real smartness to figure out. Cheating isn't good. Again, and I've already used a million examples. Again, if we were having a three-legged race, that the town was going to sponsor a little fair day, so that's a little fair, and all the kids show up, and you're all going to do some special thing as a community, and then you decide, oh, let's have a three-legged race, right? Let's do a little three-legged race, and then you sit there and say, okay, well, let's line everybody up based on income. Okay, so yeah, you poor people, you're okay, you're over there, and you rich people, yeah, see, here's the finish line. You have to just hop, just one little hop, and you're over. Okay, so all you Richies right up here on the front, right by the finish line, we have your trophies all polished for you, all ready. Okay, because that's what the people who fall out of the right vagina deserve it. They earned it, man. And fuck you, poor people. Fuck you in the ass till dead, you fucking cunts. Yeah, fuck you in the ass till dead. Fuck you, stupid ass. Shit. God damn. I mean, I hate to say I hate everyone on this planet, but it almost turns out like you poke them a little bit and you say, oh. I mean, they talk some kind of reason. Oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then they say something stupid like, I just voted for Jill Stein. Fuck you.